In the short history of smart device games, Gamevil has made a name for itself as the go-to place for simple action RPG games that cost players little to nothing to play. Gamevil has held a pace of not only a large quantity of games, but also games of relatively solid quality. This has only improved over the last year, with at least one new game coming out every month. Illusia 2, the sequel to the very popular Illusia, was released in June to the patient Android fanbase. It was released on iOS back in April. It appears to be worth the wait though, because Illusia 2 rivals any game Gamevil has released to date. In Illusia 2, you play as one of 3 main characters, which are different classes complete with unique skill sets and playstyles. Each character also has subtle differences in their overall story, but this element seems to be rather minor. Overall, the story is about a disturbance that is occurring in the land of dreams, which is causing everyone in the real world's dreams to turn into nightmares. To save the princess of the dream world and restore balance to dreams, the hero must travel to each of 4 lands in the dream world to defeat the darkness consuming each land. The story does take a little time to warm up, and is transparent about its direction, but is head and shoulders above similar RPGs on smart devices. There was some room for improvement with the controls, especially on a tablet. The decision to include jump buttons attached to the directional pad wasn't well thought out. The majority of the damage taken in the game will be a direct result of botched jumps due to this unique and confusing approach. The other controls are pretty standard, including a hotkey bar which can be flipped and customized as you see fit. The graphics and sound are pretty standard for a Gamevil game. The Illusia games are 2-dimensional action RPG games, and as such the graphics are also 2-dimensional. Unfortunately, Gamevil didn't add in a high-res mode for tablets, so on larger displays the graphics appear to be a little dated from the stretching. Similar to other recently released games by Gamevil, the sound is a great improvement over past attempts. In many of Gamevil's older games, music tracks sound overly clipped, to a point where it's actually distracting. Fortunately, Illusia 2 was able to avoid similar snags, and the only downside with the music is the short duration of the tracks, which leads to a lot of repetition. Surprisingly, Illusia 2 is able to keep its grindfest nature relatively fresh through an amusing story and skill trees that will keep you leveling to make your hero that much better. The sounds and graphics are the solid experience we've come to expect from Gamevil. With 3 different characters and hours of gameplay, Illusia 2 further solidifies Gamevil's reputation as a dominant mobile game developer. PixelFreak.com is giving Illusia 2 87 pixels out of 100.